Logan's the one who got me out.
Doesn't have to come down like that. I'm so Ray is 22nd, I'm 23rd.
You guys, it's one of my students. Sarah, no, 1 year older than Sarah. Yes.
You're going to open the service. You're going to open the service up there, okay?
No pressure.
Hold on. You have 40 seconds.
I didn't know that you got it. I guess that means yes. That's great.
Oh, it's a good line.
I think you're asking the wrong person. Yeah.
It's, you get Bellinger betting.
It's almost nice as you're not. It's almost like
There's no
answer to that. You look beautiful. You look fine. You don't like your pants?
Yeah, but I don't want to hear it. We haven't, you don't want to take us to game right there? We were 5 games, now 2 games. No, we haven't even started
Testing.
Right, you're good to go.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to our Brotherhood service. Welcome to the Brotherhood Shabbat. We have taken pride and pleasure in preparing this Shabbat service. We have been enriched by this process, and it is our hope that you will find meaning in this service. Brotherhood Shabbat is not only an opportunity for us to give something to the congregation, it is an opportunity for us to explore who we are. Brotherhood affords us a unique forum to be who we are, Jewish men. Being a part of Brotherhood has added much to our lives, allowing us to deepen our commitments to each other, our community, to Judaism, to God. Through worship, we give voice to this, and tonight, we share that voice with you. We gather tonight with friends and family to welcome Shabbat. And as we do on Shabbat, we step back from the restlessness of our daily occupations, from the frenzied pursuit of success, and take sightings on our course through life. Tonight, we acknowledge our essential interdependence with our fellow human beings, that to sustain life, we must live together in society and work together if we are to realize our aspirations of a rational and spiritual life. We further acknowledge that this principle has meaning only to the extent that we enforce it in our lives. Concepts of equality, justice, and dignity are sterile unless they are brought to life in our daily confrontations with each other. To ensure the dignity of our lives, we must reach out to touch and demonstrate our concerns by deeds. Shabbat Shalom.
Brotherhood Shabbat. On this Brotherhood Shabbat, we enter this sanctuary to unite and worship. We come to you, O God, ever mindful that you have created all people. And Cain spoke unto Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And God said to Cain, Where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? We pray as our ancestors before us that God will give guidance to our minds and hearts, and we seek by our acts of daily living to answer the eternal question. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am my brother's keeper. Through our prayers, we can bring God near to us. We can come to understand God's role in the universe, and we can be led to live in such a way that all people will know that God is one. May our endeavors, our study, our prayer, our interactions help us to achieve these goals.
Shabbat Shalom. Behold how good and how pleasant it is that we are together as one congregational family as we continue on page 11 with Emanu-El.
page 13, walking Shabbat. How do we make Shabbat something special? There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty we can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. On Shabbat, there are days when we act as if we care for nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we are reminded that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. Therefore, we welcome Shabbat, a day of rest, a day of wonder, a day of peace.
Page 14 is in Welcome Shabbat. Lechato Di.
Of the lighting of the Shabbat candles, like to call upon our Bat Mitzvah of tomorrow morning. Wait and say that for a year for this young woman. Finally, we're there, Sofala. So Sophie Lorino, as well as her parents, Robin Feynman and Fabio Marie. We're on page 18.
In the beginning, the Most High made heaven and earth. That was on us, guys. We got to be on our italics.
In every beginning there is darkness. The darkness of ignorance, which smothers human dignity. The darkness of fear, which chokes the creative will. The darkness of tyranny, which stifles freedom.
The Most High said, "Let there be light."
The
Sabbath candles celebrate the divine power that makes for life and light.
Blessed is the eternal power that inspires our people to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Blessed is the source of life and light.
May we be blessed with the light of dignity, creation, and freedom. May we be blessed with the life of joy, love, and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel
Now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to welcome the person next to you, wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Shabbat Page 20. Shabbat is a day of freedom and peace, a celebration of life and creation. May it open our eyes to the goodness we have attained and our hearts to the goodness we may yet achieve. Let moments of holiness enter the world, uniting matter and spirit in the joy of wholeness as we welcome Shabbat, the day of days. Now Shabbat is with us. Now reach out for the divine in ourselves and in the world.
In freedom, each of us seeks the Sabbath of the soul.
You guys got to be on your parts better than this. There will be a test, that's right. Here, time and place invite our commitment to the ancient purposes that are our present hopes. Now time and place are one, bringing promise of triumph over anguish and despair. And when we shall gone from this place on our separate ways, may our words and promises bring fulfillment and peace.
May our words and promises become deeds, bringing fulfillment and peace.
Beautiful. In the sanctuary, we seek to free ourselves from the fears and conflicts that estrange us from one another.
May our words and thoughts give us hope and strength.
We therefore claim the eternal power in the universe that helps us to grow in understanding and love and leads us to freedom. Continue on page 22 with our call to worship. I see an arrow pointing up, which reminds us we are able to please rise. Brotherhood, page 22. Page 24.
There was silence. There was chaos. There was a voice. A mind went forth to form worlds. Now order reigns where chaos once held sway.
The law makes the evening fall. The law brings on the dawn.
The moon follows accustomed paths. Constellations their patterned ways.
Sovereign is the will that orders the stars and their courses within the sky. Sovereign is that will.
Page 26.
And how unyielding is the will of our people Israel. After the long nights, after the days and years when our ashes blacken the sky, Israel endures, heart still turned to love, soul turning still to life.
So day and night, early and late, we will rejoice in the study of Torah. We will walk by the light of mitzvot. They are our life and the length of our days. Praise be the source of life and love in Israel our people.
Let's take a deep breath in. Exhaling out. Another deep cleansing breath in, breathing in that sense of shalom. Exhaling out mishagas.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'oleh.
We continue on page 28 with Ve'ahavta. I see an arrow on the bottom of page 27, is all I'm saying. Ve'ahavta, led in Hebrew and English by our Bat Mitzvah of tomorrow morning, Sophia Marie.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך ושיננתם בבניך, ודיברתם בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love the Eternal, your God, with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you today upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, and make them visible for your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them, so shall you consecrate yourself to your God. I, the Eternal, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Eternal, am your God.
Middle of page 29. These quiet moments of Shabbat open my soul. Blessed with another week of life, I give thanks to the Eternal who creates and sustains us. For all the good I have known during the days that have passed, I am very grateful. I know I have not always responded with my best effort, but often I did earnestly try. I have tried to give my family love and devotion, and I pray that I may grow more loving as the years pass. Even as I regret my weakness, I rejoice in my accomplishments. Let these achievements, O God, lead to many others. May I be blessed on each Shabbat with a sense of having grown in goodness and compassion. There have been times when I have endeavored to help those in need. Now I ask only that I may be able to do yet more. Let my actions testify to my worth as your partner in creation. More and more, let me find my life's meaning in working with others to bless our lives by making this a better world.
Write together in words of Michamocha on the next page, page 30.
Only when we all take rest and walk in together will the waters part. If you will receive my words and treasure my commandments, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Indeed, if you cry after knowledge and lift up your voice for understanding. If you seek her like silver and search for her as for hidden treasure, then shall you understand the fear of the Almighty and find the knowledge of God. For the Eternal gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding.
Let's join together into Shamru on the next page. This Shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולדורם. this Shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולדורם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולדורם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולדורם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולדורם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולדורם.
Page 34.
Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide.
Diane gets a prize. You get an extra piece of college. Oh no, keep standing. You're a leader. We continue with our tefillah on page 35. Well done, Diane.
Then he put ופונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות, וימים אבות, ומי יכולה לבני בניהם, למען שלום ואהבה, מלך עוזר ומשיח מגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
We continue on page 38. We pray that we might know before whom we stand, the power whose gift is life.
What are you sitting down for?
There's an arrow. There's an arrow.
Oh, excellent. Well
Who
done.
quickens
That was the test.
who quickens those who have forgotten how to live. We pray for winds to disperse for the choking of air of sadness, for cleansing rain, to make parched hopes flower, and to give all of us the strength to rise up towards the sun. We pray for love to encompass us for no other reason, save that we are human, for love through which we may all blossom into persons who have gained power over our own lives. We pray to stand upright. We've fallen to be healed. We sufferers, we pray to break the bonds that keep us from the world of beauty. We pray for opened eyes, who are blind to our own authentic selves. We pray that we may walk in the garden of a purposeful life, our own powers in touch with the power of the world. Praise be the God whose gift is life, whose cleansing rains let parched men and women flower towards the sun.
Page 41. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום ילוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. The holiness of this day is not for this day alone. We must make it overflow into all our minutes, to hallow our weekdays from these sacred moments, hour by hour, to make the world a sanctuary where every human soul may be at home. Oh, may the awe we feel at times at the miracle of one another united in prayer be with us tomorrow. Keep tenderness in our words, our touch, and our look.
Praise to the world, the power of good, and thanks for the
We continue on page 43.
That's my line.
Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, and quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny us the false Sabbath, the Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us up, O God. Shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the borders of the sanctuary is not the border of living. and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Sabbath be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be time to be stirred and spurred into action.
I don't know about you, but I think that reading is so powerful. I really love that reading. Disturb us, Adonai. So I invite us to take a moment of silence as we think about being disturbed. We need to be disturbed, especially as we approach the high holidays, especially with what's happening around our world right now. We need to really be disturbed. We pause in silent reflection. Focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing, be that a physical healing, a spiritual healing, or a mental healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Sandra Adams, Sally Amarendez, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Ivan Aronson, Bob Bell, Robert Berg, Mort Berlant, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sarah Beinstock, Sandy Beinstock, W.L. Bradley, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Dr. Ed Kahn, Chu Chi, Sandra Cohen, Rachel Decker, Carolyn Franklin, Barbara Friedman, Jason Fishoff, Holly Fugit, Alan Garsham, Mandy Gillis, Harry Glaze, Mary Gold, Ted Guglin, Rosie Gurman, Philip Hammer, Courtney Hansen, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Jessica Jetson, Mimi Jones, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Liatzvia Batliba Elchanan, Carol Lerner, Shirley Lerner, Carol Lesage, Lita Leos, Bobby Lotman, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Karen Mack, Nancy Markham, Eva Misley, Vivian Cooper Moore, Gunther Myberg, Brad Parkins, Gabrielle Pollock, Stephanie Rasmussen, Carol Ross, Linda Rogers, Ben Rubin, Dolores Sams Hoy, Gary Sanders, Laura Sanders, Malachi Sorensen, Donna Shine, Donna Thyman, Famtai Train, Gina Thrower, Wendy Okamwego, Teresa Walsh, Jeannie Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong, Brandon Yarkin, Madison Zales, and everyone who's suffering from coronavirus. If you wish to add another name, I invite you to raise your hand.
Julie McGuire.
Thank you.
Very good.
We wish upon all those you mentioned and those remain unnamed a refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery, as we turn to page 54 and join together in Debbie Friedman's Mishaberach.
As Brotherhood President, it's an honor and a privilege to give the Devar Torah. Well, if you're looking for mitzvah or commandments, this Torah portion tops them all. Ki Titzeh, the 49th parsha of the Torah, contains more mitzvahs than any other parsha of the Torah. Ki Titzeh means when you take or when you go forth. And it comes from the first line of the portion, according to Maimonides. This portion alone contains 72 of the Torah's 613 mitzvah. It deals with many subjects, such as the rights of women who are captives of war, or who no longer enjoy their husband's love, treatment of a defiant, rebellious son, burial of an executed criminal, consideration for the property of others, and unnatural mixes among people, crops, animals, and clothing materials. Earlier in the Torah, we were commanded not to cut down fruit trees in wartime. Here too, we are told to keep our arguments between people and not drag in nature and other creatures. Well, this service is only about an hour, so I'll focus in on one particular subject I'd like to discuss. That is the regard for animals. How many of us here this evening have an animal or a pet? Please raise your hand. So that's about half of us. During the pandemic, when we were sheltering in place in our homes, many of us became overwhelmed with depression and boredom, as I did. We needed and still need pets to bring us joy and comfort. However, as restrictions have been lifting, fears of mass abandonment have been reported and highly publicized. The overwhelming evidence indicates that adopted pets and dogs in particular are not being abandoned, and that shelters are not seeing an increase in returns. The happy truth, according to animal welfare groups, is that most people are keeping their adopted pets. Danny McCarville, an artist who lives with her husband and mountain dog Buck in Colorado, couldn't imagine life without her new companion. She couldn't fathom giving up her new family member. She exclaimed, "It would be like getting rid of a kid. He makes us laugh all day long and doesn't even know he's funny." Dr. Marty Greer also understands how pets, and specifically dogs, can be essential during a crisis. She's a veterinarian and author of Your Pandemic Puppy, Finding and Raising a Well-Adjusted Dog During COVID-19. She explained, "We've been through a lot together, and when there was nobody for us, our dogs were." Greer also recalled a slogan on a mug: "It's not drinking alone if your dog is home." Furthermore, the command to prevent cruelty to animals is reflected in the way animals are slaughtered under the rules of kashrut. The need to avoid pain to living things, or tsa'ar ba'alei chayim, is designed to kill animals as quickly as possible. In Deuteronomy 11:15, which mentions cattle before people, it was interpreted to signify that an owner should feed his animals before he could sit down to eat. And I know a lot of us do exactly that. In Leviticus, we're instructed an ox is not to be muzzled while threshing the corn, so that it may not be tortured by making it stare at all that juicy grain. In this parsha, it commands, "You shall not plow with an ox and an ass together." In addition to preventing the mixing of species, the Torah is concerned about protecting weaker animals, in this case, the smaller donkey. Regulations about how to treat animals are like labor laws, protecting the conditions of the workers who here happen to have 4 legs. Even in the book of Jonah, the last line of the story sums up the divine command. In a rhetorical question, God proclaims that his mercy extends to animals as well as to innocent human beings. Abraham Lincoln, a Reformed Jew, once said, "I care not for a man's religion whose dog and cat are not the better for it." According to the Torah, that means all animals. That's why we call it a tree of life. Life for us and for all of creation.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Shannon Brown, and on behalf of Temple Emanu-El's Board of Trustees, I'm thrilled to welcome you to our Patio Kabbalat Shabbat. After services, please join us for Kiddush, Hamotzi in the back area of the patio, and enjoy our COVID-friendly oneg, sponsored by the Feynman Marino family in honor of Sophia's Bat Mitzvah. Tomorrow morning in the sanctuary at 10:30 a.m., Sophia Marino will be called to the Torah as a Bat Mitzvah. Mazel tov to Sophia and her entire family. On Tuesday, Rabbi will lead his weekly chat at noon on Zoom. And on Wednesday, also at noon on Zoom, join the Rabbi for his bi-monthly lunch and learn. Also next Wednesday at 5 p.m., you have the opportunity to participate in an interfaith call to make a holy noise for strong climate action at City Hall. Thank you. Our Green Team, as part of our Dayenu Circle, which includes all the South Bay synagogues and other organizations of faith, will be gathering at City Hall to make noise, march, and sing for bold climate action. For more information about what to bring, where to meet, and to register, check our online calendar or talk to me or Bob Levy tonight if you want to. Next Friday, we hope to see you again for our Patio Shabbat services at 6:30 p.m. Next Shabbat morning at 10:30 will be the Bat Mitzvah of Elena Matthias. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Please register online if you'd like to attend. Also next Saturday at 9 p.m., open your high holiday season with a meaningful Selichot service. The service will be in person and also streamed and will culminate with Havdalah. Calling all volunteers. Would you like to help greet and check in people at services or help serve oneg food? Contact the administrative office to sign up. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.
We continue with Elena on page 57. Page 61. Life is finite. Like a candle, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. Then it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. It is our minhag or custom at Temple Emanu-El, upon hearing the name of your loved one on our yahrzeit list, to stand as a sign of love and grief for that person, and to remain standing till all the names on our yahrzeit list have been recited. Then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Rosalind Schwartz. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first-year mourning for Leon Averick, Robert Baker, Pauline Anderson Berkowitz, Tony Berliner, Carol Bitter, Roy Robert Creech, Bill Davenport, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Charles Green, former president of our congregation Bob Hirsch, Rita Kane, Selma Karcham, Janet Katz, Kevin Krieger, Hal Latz, Father Bill Leninger, Marianne Suni Levin, Michal Lubin, Michael Meltzer, Manny Migdal, Roberta Stivelman Newman, Patricio Orozco, Arlene Ravel, David Reiser, Steve Reese, Cami Resnick, Edith Robinson, Stanley Rosen, Steve Rosenthal, Lois Rosette, Betty Rossman, Boris Supak, B. Chandler Shaw, Marilyn Siller, Kit Snyder, Greg Stiller, Joel Strauss, Gunther Vogler, Carol Wachtenheim, Marty Weisblatt, Henry Wild Sr., Florence Winnig, Millie Wolfson. We also think of the following yahrzeits we observe on this Shabbat, as we think of Harvey Asher, Eleanor Berman, Jacob Berman, Shirley Blauner, Suzanne Blickman, Bonnie Bronstein, Anne Orloff Kahn, Morris Chusett, Shlomo Sins, George Cleve, Lee Davis, Ephraim Engelman, Benjamin Fisher, Sarah Friedman, Muriel Goldberg, Jenny Goldberg, Annette Goldstein, Dora Gollop, Rose Greenberg, Morris Heller, Lila Henderson, Shlomo Hertz, Ron Hoffman, Ruth Jeffy, Ann Kaplan, Sophie Crown, Morris Lovey, Yanko Ludwig, Manjit Makni, Sadie Newman, Jack Leon Massavoy, Meyer Pollock, Jackie Radwin, Sarah Ruby, Winnie Scare, Isadora Schreibstein, Sydney Shapiro, Dr. Albert Scheinbaum, Fran Shusett, Arthur Silverman, Florence Silverman, Dorothy Unell, Francis James Wank, Samuel B. Weinstein, George Weintraub. Zichronam Livracha. May all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing. As we rise now, turning to page 63 to recite together our mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וביומכון, חיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה וזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו, לעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בלמה וימרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, וימרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, וימרו amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to those who are bereaved among us, wherever they may be, as we say together. Amen. Please be seated.
Conclude on page 69.
Before we do page 69, we're going to do Salah. What are we doing? Cool. I just want to take the opportunity to thank our amazing Brotherhood for leading such a great service. And well done, David. Thank you for your words as well. This is always an annual experience. And last year we lost a lot of things, so it's nice to have Brotherhood Shabbat back during the summer. It really is. Thank you, guys. Well done. Really well done. And with that, Cantor. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to continue now in the back of our courtyard, or in the front, depends on which angle you're at. As we continue with Kiddush and Motzi, Soph, why don't you come join me, and you'll lead us in Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom.
It was streamed, right? Yeah, you can watch it again.
Next year, we should do the same thing. That's great. We can do that.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, David, you should save that for the board. Good.
First day of school for the rest of the